The signal had come out of nowhere. One moment, Captain Alara Voss and her crew were patrolling the outer edge of the Xylar system, charting star maps and scanning for potential mineral-rich planets. The next, a faint, irregular distress signal flickered on their instruments. It wasn't like the usual automated signals they intercepted from merchant convoys or mining vessels. This one was alive, almost desperate. Its pattern suggested someone or something was signaling them for help. Alara frowned as she studied the data. The signal's coming from a ship, large, class unknown, she said, her voice calm but tinged with curiosity. She always felt a thrill when encountering the unknown. And no registered crew aboard, at least according to the transponder. Ryan Cho, their chief engineer, leaned over the console, tapping the interface. The energy signature is strange. Engines are running, but there's no life support fluctuation. Either the crew is dead or they've gone somewhere else. I've never seen anything like this. Tessa Muir, the team's biologist, frowned at the readings. And there's a faint chemical trace, burnt metal, ozone, something recently active. Whoever or whatever sent this signal didn't leave long ago. Alara made a decision. We go. Prepare the boarding shuttle. We don't know what's out there, but we're going to find out. The shuttle detached from their ship, gliding silently toward the dark silhouette of the derelict vessel. Its hull was sleek, made of a black alloy that reflected the distant stars like liquid mirrors. Despite its size, it moved with no sound, drifting slowly as if suspended in space. When the shuttle docked, the airlock hissed open. A cold, metallic scent filled the cabin. The interior of the ship was dimly lit, hallways glowing faintly with pale blue light. Panels blinked intermittently, casting long shadows along the walls. "Looks abandoned," Ryan whispered, his voice echoing slightly. "But these systems are still live. Whoever built this ship made sure it could run on autopilot indefinitely." Alara nodded, scanning the corridors. "Stay close, and be alert. Something doesn't feel right." They moved through the main deck cautiously, the sound of their footsteps bouncing off the metal floors. Strange markings covered the walls, alien in design but strangely symmetrical. Tessa crouched to examine one, her fingers tracing the grooves. "This isn't random. Someone designed this with purpose. Care, even." A soft flicker from a console drew Ryan's attention. "Look at this," he said. Symbols appeared on the screen, shifting, rearranging themselves as if trying to communicate. "It's not language we know, but it's responsive, almost alive." Alara stepped closer, placing a hand on the console. "The ship itself might be aware," she murmured. "We need to be careful. If this thing can react to us—" She trailed off, the thought heavy in the air. As they continued deeper, the eerie silence was broken suddenly. Faint footsteps echoed from below deck. They weren't human, or at least not in rhythm with their own. The sound was deliberate, slow, and almost taunting. What was that?" Tessa whispered, her eyes wide. Ryan frowned. "No one's down there. The lower decks are empty, according to my scanner. Either we're hearing things or—" He paused, swallowing hard. "Or we're not alone." Alara raised a hand, signaling them to stay quiet. "Split up," she said after a moment. "No, wait. Stay together. Whatever it is, we go as a team." The team moved cautiously, their flashlights cutting through the dim corridors. Every door they passed seemed to lead to another empty room. Tools lay scattered as if dropped in a hurry. Chairs were overturned and panels had been ripped from walls. It was a scene of panic or abandonment, but there was no sign of struggle, no bodies, no blood. Tessa's gaze fell on a lab area, glass containers cracked and empty. "Experiments," she muttered. "Someone was working on something here. Something big." Ryan shook his head. "This isn't like any shipboard lab I've seen." "The equipment It's advanced beyond anything humans have, and yet it looks like they left in a rush. Alara felt a chill. And the footsteps? She asked quietly. They had stopped, but the memory of them lingered in the air, as if the ship itself had a heartbeat. They reached the main elevator to descend to the lower decks. The doors opened with a hiss, revealing a shaft that seemed to stretch into darkness. A faint, cold draft blew upward. Tessa shivered. "It's alive down there. I can feel it." Alara stepped in first, motioning for the others to follow. "Whatever it is, we face it together. Humans are adaptable. We can think in ways this ship or its occupant cannot predict." The elevator descended slowly, carrying them deeper into the unknown. The walls vibrated slightly, a low hum under their feet. The lights flickered, revealing shapes that seemed to move just beyond their vision. Halfway down, the footsteps began again. This time, they were closer, circling, echoing off unseen walls. The sound made their hearts race. Ryan gritted his teeth. "I don't like this," he admitted. "Whatever it is, it's intelligent, and it knows we're here." Tessa whispered almost to herself. "It's testing us. It wants to see how we react." Alara nodded. "Then we'll give it what it doesn't expect. Human ingenuity, quick thinking, improvisation, and courage." They stepped off the elevator onto the lower deck. The corridors were tighter, the walls covered with strange markings that seemed to shift slightly when observed. Panels projected holographic shapes, fragments of star maps, equations, and strange anatomical diagrams. The ship was clearly a laboratory of knowledge, but for whom or what, they could not tell. Suddenly, the footsteps grew louder, closer, and then stopped. Silence fell again, so thick it pressed against their ears. Ryan tapped his communicator. "Captain, sensors detect movement, but no mass. It's incorporeal or cloaked somehow." Alara tightened her grip on her utility tool. "Keep your eyes open. It might not be a creature in the way we think. It could be the ship itself, or something protecting it." As they turned a corner, a shadow flitted across the wall ahead, fast and silent. Tessa gasped. "Did you see that?" Ryan nodded, swallowing hard. It's watching, studying us." Alara stepped forward, her voice firm. "Then we study it back. We adapt. That's what humans do best. We face the unknown, and we survive." They moved slowly, deliberately, leaving signs of their presence, a handprint on a railing, a mark on a console, just as the shadow seemed to move with them, as if tracking every action. Reaching the end of the corridor, they found a chamber unlike anything they had seen. Transparent walls enclosed a suspended platform filled with strange, glowing liquid. Shapes moved within, humanoid but incomplete, like sketches of beings yet to be born. The air smelled of ozone and metal, sharp and alive. Tessa stepped closer, awe written across her face. This is creation, or experimentation. They were trying to make life. Something beyond human, maybe beyond alien." Ryan frowned. "And something went wrong. They left, or something drove them away." Ilara's gaze swept the room. Her heart raced with both fear and exhilaration. Humans had stumbled upon something incredible, something beyond their understanding, but they were humans. Adaptable, curious, brave. They could face this, find answers, and survive. A soft click echoed behind them, the faintest trace of movement, almost imperceptible. The footsteps had returned, closer this time, deliberate, like someone, or something, walking right behind them. Alara took a deep breath. "Remember this, all of you. Humans have survived the impossible countless times. This is no different. We face it together, and we will not fail." The team moved as one toward the next corridor, ready to uncover the secrets below. The ship was vast, silent, and dangerous, but the humans were clever, fearless, and relentless. And as the shadows shifted and the footsteps echoed once more, the message was clear. Whatever waited in the lower decks. It had never faced humans before. The lower decks of the derelict ship were colder than the upper levels, as if the very air had been drained of warmth. Captain Ilara Voss led her team cautiously through the winding corridors, every step echoing louder than it should. The faint hum of the ship's systems was constant, almost like a heartbeat, and the feeling that they were being watched pressed against them from all directions. Ryan Cho checked his portable scanner repeatedly. "There's no life form detected," he said, trying to keep his voice steady. "Nothing visible. But the readings are inconsistent. Some kind of energy is moving ahead of us." Tessa Muir's eyes darted around nervously. "It's not like anything I've ever studied. This energy, it feels intelligent, like it's reacting to us, watching how we move, how we think." Ilara nodded silently. "That's why we need to stay alert. Whatever this is, it isn't bound by the same rules as humans. It will test us." They reached a junction where 3 corridors split in different directions. Each path looked identical, with glowing panels and doors that led to unknown rooms. The footsteps had stopped again, leaving only silence, but the tension in the air told them they were not alone. "Which way?" Ryan whispered. Ilara studied the scanner. "We'll take the left corridor first. Stay close and move slowly. No sudden actions." As they walked, the corridor walls seemed to shift subtly. The alien markings they had seen earlier now glimmered faintly, almost as if responding to their presence. Tessa reached out to touch one, and the light pulsed brighter for a moment. She drew her hand back quickly. "It's like the ship itself is alive, or whatever is here is controlling it." Ryan muttered, "This is beyond engineering. I don't even know if human logic applies here." Suddenly, a soft metallic clang echoed through the corridor. All 3 froze, hearts pounding. The sound had come from ahead, faint but deliberate. The footsteps returned, slow, measured, as if something or someone was pacing just beyond their line of sight. Ilara motioned for them to stop. "Stay calm. Remember, we adapt. Humans are resourceful. Observe, think, react." They advanced cautiously, flashlights cutting through the dim corridors. Shadows stretched unnaturally along the walls, twisting with every step. At one point, Tessa noticed a doorway that had not been on the schematic. She pointed it out. "This wasn't here before. Or maybe the ship rearranges itself." Ilara studied it carefully. "Could be. Be ready for anything. Let's see where it leads." The doorway opened into a vast chamber filled with strange machinery. Tubes and conduits ran along the walls, glowing with energy. In the center, a transparent cylinder held what appeared to be a humanoid form, suspended in liquid. The figure was incomplete, limbs elongated unnaturally, and its head had geometric patterns etched into the skin. Tessa gasped softly. They were experimenting, creating life or something like it. Ryan leaned closer to examine the equipment. "These systems are self-repairing. The ship maintains itself. Whoever made this, they designed it to last centuries without care." Ilara studied the cylinder, her mind racing. "And yet, it's empty of any crew. Something went wrong here. Or someone, or something, drove them away." A faint shift of energy made the liquid in the cylinder ripple. The humanoid inside seemed to react to their presence, turning its head slightly, though no eyes could be seen. The hairs on the back of Tessa's neck stood on end. "Did you see that?" she whispered. Ryan nodded slowly. "It's aware. Not alive in a normal sense, but it's responding." The footsteps returned, closer this time, circling the chamber. Ilara spun slowly, shining her light toward the sound. There was nothing there, but the sense of being observed was overwhelming. "We need to move on," she said firmly. "We can't stay here. Whatever is down here is curious about us. But we are the observers now. Let's see how far this goes. They continued down another corridor, narrower this time, lined with panels displaying streams of data in alien symbols. Ryan's scanner beeped intermittently, trying to interpret the patterns. These are logs, but not like human logs. They record thought processes, decisions, experiments. This ship documents everything. Tessa leaned closer to one panel. And it's still active. The ship itself is learning, evolving. Whoever built this wanted it to think, to adapt, maybe even to protect itself. A shadow flickered across the far wall, faster than their eyes could follow. The footsteps grew louder, almost synchronized with their own heartbeat. Ilara raised her hand. Hold! Wait! Let it reveal itself! As they paused, the air seemed to vibrate slightly, and a soft voice echoed in their minds, not through speakers, but directly, like a thought implanted in their consciousness. Why are you here? Tessa staggered back, eyes wide. It spoke. I heard it in my mind. Ryan shook his head, trying to process. An AI? Some form of telepathy? I don't even... Ilara steadied herself. Focus. Humans survive because we adapt. It's testing us. We answer with actions, not fear. Slowly, Ilara stepped forward, projecting calm determination. We are explorers. We seek knowledge, not conflict. We mean no harm. There was a pause. Then the voice, or thought, resonated again. Curiosity. Uncommon. Intelligence. Adaptive. Worth observing. Tessa looked at Ilara, astonished. It's judging us. It's alive in its own way. Ryan's fingers danced over his scanner. Adaptive intelligence. So it responds to decisions, to choices. Humans can improvise. That might be why it considers us worth observing. Ilara nodded. Exactly. Let's keep moving, but stay cautious. We communicate through behavior. Our ingenuity is our strength. The next chamber they entered was more industrial, filled with moving machinery. Conveyor-like platforms carried containers of strange alloys, while robotic arms performed maintenance on systems they could barely comprehend. Some arms paused, then turned toward the humans, as if acknowledging their presence. Tessa stepped forward slowly. It's like the ship itself is alive. It reacts, but it doesn't attack. It's testing us, maybe learning from us. Suddenly, a loud clang rang out behind them. The footsteps, they were faster now, more deliberate. Shadows moved along the walls, darting just out of reach. Ilara motioned for them to regroup. We continue together. Do not panic. Observe patterns. Adapt. They approached a control hub at the center of the deck. Panels glowed, displaying incomprehensible data streams. Ryan tried to interface with the systems, tapping into the alien network. Sparks danced from the interface as the ship seemed to resist intrusion. Careful, Ilara warned. It's intelligent. It knows what you're doing. Ryan paused, then tried another approach, using indirect commands rather than direct control. Slowly, the systems responded. Lights adjusted, panels shifted, revealing hidden compartments and data caches. Tessa knelt by one compartment, peering inside. These are records, experiments, designs, maps. Whoever built this wanted their knowledge preserved. A soft, almost playful sound echoed through the chamber. The footsteps had paused, then moved in a deliberate circle. As if the ship, or its guardian, was observing their method, their logic, their reactions. Ilara smiled faintly. That's our advantage. We adapt. We think creatively. That's what humans do best. They spent hours exploring the lower decks, documenting what they could. Every chamber revealed new mysteries, laboratories filled with unfinished experiments, chambers for unknown life forms, systems that seemed to anticipate human needs before they arose. The ship itself seemed to respond to their presence, guiding them subtly while remaining enigmatic. By the time they reached the final corridor of the lower deck, The footsteps had ceased, leaving a heavy, expectant silence. Ilara looked at her team. This is where we learn the most. Whatever is here, it's waiting for us to prove ourselves. A faint hum grew beneath their feet, rising into a tone that resonated with their very bones. The cylinder Tessa had seen earlier pulsed with a soft light, and the shapes within seemed to stretch and shift, as if observing, testing, waiting. Tessa swallowed hard. I think it wants to see how we think, how we respond. It's alive in a way we can't even define. Ryan exhaled, shaking his head. And we're just humans, but humans can do impossible things. Ilara nodded, her eyes scanning the corridor ahead. Then we show it. We explore. We adapt. And we survive. As they moved forward into the unknown, the sense of being watched never left. The footsteps had vanished, but their presence lingered, like a shadow always just behind them. They were not alone, and the ship was alive. It was observing, learning, testing. But the humans were alive too, thinking, adapting, pushing forward. And in that silent contest between human ingenuity and alien intelligence, one thing was certain: humans would not back down. The corridor stretched on endlessly, lit by faint, pale blue light that seemed to pulse in rhythm with the low hum of the ship's systems. Captain Ilara Voss led her team forward, every step careful, deliberate, yet confident. Behind her, Ryan Cho adjusted his scanner, trying to make sense of the strange energy readings that had been guiding them deeper into the lower decks. Tessa Muir moved beside him, her eyes wide with curiosity and cautious fear, studying every panel, every shadow, every reflection. The silence was thick, almost alive, pressing against them from every side. The faint footsteps had stopped, leaving a strange void, but the humans knew better than to assume they were alone. This ship was alive in its own way, and it was watching. Ilara stopped suddenly, her hand raised. Wait! Listen! A soft vibration ran through the floor beneath their boots. The walls shimmered faintly, and a low tone resonated through the corridor. It was deliberate, measured, almost like a heartbeat, yet it was not human. Ryan glanced at her. It's reacting to us. The ship, or whatever's controlling it, is aware of our presence. Tessa nodded slowly. And it's testing us. I can feel it. It's watching how we move, how we think, how we decide. Ilara exhaled. Then we show it what humans do best. We adapt. We improvise. We survive. The corridor ended in a massive chamber, larger than anything they had seen so far. At its center was a raised platform surrounded by concentric rings of alien machinery, all glowing softly with energy. Holographic symbols floated in the air, shifting and rearranging themselves as if trying to communicate. At the center of the platform, a figure began to materialize, a humanoid form, faintly translucent, radiating a soft bluish light. Its features were unfamiliar, geometric in design, but unmistakably intelligent. The footsteps returned, slow and deliberate, circling them from multiple directions at once. The humans froze. The figure at the center of the platform tilted its head, observing them as if it could see into their very thoughts. Ryan whispered, It's alive. Not in the way we know, but it's conscious. And it knows we're here." Tessa stepped closer, her curiosity overcoming her fear. "It's testing us. It wants to see what humans are capable of. We just have to prove ourselves." Ilara nodded. "Then we move carefully. We act smart, and we show it human ingenuity." The humanoid figure extended an arm, and holographic symbols shifted rapidly in the air, forming patterns that Ryan struggled to interpret. It was a test, a puzzle of logic and perception. The humans realized that the ship, or its guardian, was not just observing them, it was evaluating their intelligence, their creativity, their ability to adapt. Ryan studied the patterns quickly. It's like a problem-solving test. It presents a challenge and our actions determine its response. Elira moved forward deliberately. Then we solve it the human way. We think, we improvise, we cooperate. They worked together, observing the shifting patterns, discussing possibilities in low, urgent whispers. Each choice they made was met with a response from the figure. Sometimes the patterns stabilized, glowing brighter, signaling approval. Sometimes they dissolved, forcing the humans to reconsider their approach. Hours seemed to pass in a blur as they analyzed, experimented, and adapted. The figure never attacked. The footsteps never became aggressive. Instead, the ship itself seemed to guide them subtly, revealing hidden clues, offering small advantages to reward their cleverness. Tessa pointed at a particular sequence of symbols. This one repeats in a cycle. If we follow the sequence, we can anticipate its moves. Ryan nodded. And we can use that to manipulate the patterns, test its responses. It's reacting to our strategy now, not just our actions. Elira smiled faintly. Humans are unpredictable. That's our strength. Let's use it. With careful coordination, the team manipulated the sequence of patterns. The holographic symbols shifted, aligned perfectly, and then surged into a brilliant light. The humanoid figure stepped back slightly, observing them with what could only be described as acknowledgement. The low tone beneath their feet harmonized into a resonant hum, as if the ship itself had approved of their solution. Tessa exhaled, relief flooding her. We did it. We passed the first test. Ryan shook his head, still in disbelief. I can't believe it. It's judging us on adaptability, creativity, intelligence, something like this. It's beyond anything humans have encountered. Elira's eyes scanned the chamber. And we're showing it why humans are special, not stronger, not faster, but clever, resourceful, brave. That's why we survive where others might fail. The figure raised both arms, and a section of the platform shifted open, revealing a hidden compartment filled with data cores and devices of alien technology. The air hummed with potential, energy, and promise. Ryan approached cautiously. This is knowledge, advanced technology, maybe centuries ahead of anything we know. Tessa knelt beside one of the devices, and it's giving it to us. Not because we demanded it, but because we proved ourselves worthy. It recognizes human ingenuity. Elira nodded. Exactly. That's the essence of humans. We face the impossible, adapt, and overcome. That's what it respects. The humanoid figure stepped forward, its translucent form shimmering. It extended one hand, and the data cores floated toward the humans, as if acknowledging their achievement. The footsteps that had haunted them for hours now receded, leaving a sense of calm, almost reverence. Ryan carefully reached out, securing one of the cores. This could change everything. Our understanding of technology, biology, energy systems, all of it could leap forward by decades. Tessa studied the figure. It's not just giving us tools, it's giving us knowledge. It understands that humans can learn, adapt, and use it responsibly. That's why we passed its tests. Elira exhaled, feeling a mixture of relief and awe. We've earned its trust, but we can't be complacent. There's still more to explore, more to learn, and we need to be cautious. Just because it trusts us doesn't mean we fully understand it. The chamber shifted again, revealing a narrow passage leading deeper into the lower decks. The walls pulsed softly, guiding them forward. The team moved cautiously, the sense of being watched still present, but now less threatening, more like a mentor observing its students. As they descended further, they encountered more chambers filled with incredible discoveries. Some held hybrid life forms suspended in energy fields, alive but dormant, waiting for conditions to awaken them. Others contained advanced machinery that could manipulate energy, gravity, and matter in ways humans had only dreamed of. Ryan moved carefully through the equipment, marveling at the ingenuity behind it. The creators of this ship, they were thinking on a level we can barely comprehend, and yet they left it to humans to prove ourselves, to see if we could handle it. Tessa approached one of the dormant life forms. It's amazing. These creatures are neither fully human nor fully alien. They're experiments in intelligence, adaptability, evolution, and yet they're stable. They survived because the ship maintained them. Alara stepped forward, her eyes scanning the chamber. And we're the proof. Humans are adaptable. We can face challenges, think creatively, and survive in situations others cannot. That's what this ship wants to see. The footsteps returned once more, soft and deliberate, circling them like a slow, steady drumbeat. The humanoid figure reappeared, closer this time, and projected a series of symbols directly into their minds. Images of logic puzzles, creative challenges, and ethical dilemmas flashed before their eyes. Ryan blinked rapidly. It's testing everything. Our intelligence, our morals, our problem-solving, and it expects us to respond in real time. Tessa nodded, determination in her eyes. Then we show it what humans are capable of, not with strength, but with ingenuity, with thought, with courage. Ilara led them through the challenges, each one more complex than the last. They worked together, combining their skills, reasoning, and intuition to solve puzzles, manipulate systems, and navigate obstacles. With every success, the ship responded with subtle acknowledgement, lights brightening, walls shifting to reveal new chambers, and the low hum of energy rising in harmony. Hours passed in this delicate dance between human ingenuity and alien intelligence. Finally, the humanoid figure stepped back, raising both hands in a gesture that was unmistakably one of recognition and approval. The low hum beneath their feet settled into a steady, calming tone. The footsteps faded, leaving only the resonance of the ship itself. Ilara exhaled, relief and pride washing over her. We've done it. We've proven ourselves. Tessa smiled. Not just for ourselves, but for all humans. This ship, it sees our potential, our adaptability, our courage. Ryan carefully secured the last of the data cores. And we can take this knowledge with us. But more importantly, we understand that humans are capable of things even the most advanced intelligence might not predict. Ilara looked at her team, her expression resolute. We've learned more than technology today. We've learned that human ingenuity, bravery, and adaptability are our greatest strengths. And whatever waits ahead, we face it as humans always do, together, clever, and unyielding. With that, they moved deeper into the ship, ready to uncover even more secrets. Armed with the knowledge that humans could meet the unknown and emerge victorious. The footsteps, the shadows, the challenges, they had all tested them, and humans had passed. The final corridor stretched endlessly, bathed in pale blue light that pulsed softly with the hum of the ship. Captain Ilara Voss led her team forward, every step measured, careful, and full of purpose. Behind her, Ryan Cho adjusted his scanner constantly, ensuring that no energy reading went unnoticed. Tessa Muir walked beside him, her eyes wide with awe, taking in the alien machinery, the glowing panels, and the quiet intelligence that seemed to breathe from the walls. The humanoid figure they had encountered in the central chamber had not appeared again since their last challenge. Its acknowledgement, however, remained present in every subtle signal, every shift of the walls, every gentle pulse of the corridors. It had tested them, judged them, and, in its own alien way, recognized their ingenuity. Now the humans were ready to reach the heart of the ship, the place where its deepest secrets lay hidden. Ilara motioned for the team to stop. We need to be cautious. The heart of this ship. It's likely where the most advanced systems are, and where the most sensitive knowledge is stored. We move carefully, as we always have. Humans adapt, humans survive, humans succeed. Ryan exhaled. I never thought I'd say this, but I think I understand why it tested us. It wasn't looking for strength. It wasn't looking for fear. It was looking for intelligence, creativity, adaptability, the qualities that humans have in ways other species might not. Tessa nodded, and it responded to us. Guided us. It wants us to learn, but only if we prove ourselves worthy. That's why it allowed us access to the data cores earlier. This ship is alive, but it trusts humans enough to let us see what it holds. Ilara led the way into the final chamber. The air grew warmer, more alive, and the hum of the ship intensified as they approached the center. The walls here were lined with alien symbols that shifted constantly, displaying streams of data that defied comprehension. In the middle of the chamber floated a massive holographic globe, its surface rippling with star systems, planetary surfaces, and intricate lines connecting them in patterns of movement and energy. This is incredible, Tessa whispered. It's a map of entire galaxies, and not just maps. Information about energy flows, civilizations, experiments, ecosystems, everything. Ryan moved closer, scanning the holographic globe. The data is interactive. We can access technology schematics, scientific research, biological data, even starship designs far beyond our current capabilities. If we understand even a fraction of this, humanity could advance centuries in a single generation. Ilara's eyes swept over the chamber. But the ship isn't giving it freely. We still need to demonstrate our understanding, our judgment, and our ability to use it responsibly. That's what it's testing. That's why humans were allowed this far. It wants to see how we handle knowledge. Suddenly, the air shimmered, and the humanoid figure appeared again, its translucent form more defined, radiating a soft blue glow. Its presence filled the chamber with quiet authority. You have shown intelligence, the voice projected directly into their minds. You have demonstrated adaptability, creativity, and courage. You understand. You are worthy of the knowledge within. Tessa stepped forward. We will respect it. We will learn from it responsibly. We will use it to better ourselves and others. Ryan nodded. We're not taking this lightly. Humanity has a responsibility. We understand that. The figure extended its arms, and the holographic globe shifted, opening segments that revealed clusters of data cores floating gently toward the humans. Each core contained advanced knowledge, propulsion systems, energy manipulation, biological studies, and star maps of distant, uncharted regions. Ilara carefully reached for one of the cores. We will take this knowledge back to humanity, but we will do so wisely. This isn't just a prize, it's a responsibility. As they collected the cores, the footsteps that had haunted them throughout the lower decks returned, softer this time, as if walking beside them rather than behind. The ship itself seemed to guide them, opening pathways, stabilizing systems, and revealing hidden compartments filled with resources and tools to assist them in their journey. Tessa marveled at the efficiency of it. The ship. It's not just alive, it's intelligent. It adapts, teaches, and even protects. We could have easily failed, but we proved ourselves capable of understanding it. Ryan studied the floating data cores carefully. And it responds to humans differently than any other life form. Our creativity, our adaptability, it's uniquely human. That's why it allowed us this far. Ilara nodded, a quiet pride in her expression. We've faced the unknown. We've solved its tests. And now we are entrusted with something greater than technology. We are entrusted with knowledge, with understanding, and with the future of humanity. As they moved to exit the lower decks, the humanoid figure followed them silently, its presence reassuring rather than intimidating. The corridors now felt less threatening, illuminated by the soft pulse of the ship's energy, which seemed to celebrate their achievement. Before they reached the main deck, the figure projected one final series of symbols into their minds. It was a set of complex algorithms, star coordinates, and scientific patterns. "Remember this," the voice said. "Humanity is not just capable of survival. You are capable of growth, of learning, of achieving what others cannot. Use this wisely. Teach, explore, protect, adapt. You are worthy." Tessa and Ryan exchanged awed glances. "It's giving us guidance, not just data," Tessa said softly. Ryan smiled. "It recognizes human potential. That's what makes this HFY. Humans are special, and we've proven it." Ilara led the team into the main deck, where the docking bay awaited. The shadows that had once haunted them now seemed to retreat, leaving a quiet peace in their wake. They carefully loaded the data cores into their shuttle, ensuring that nothing was damaged and that all systems remained stable. As the shuttle detached and began its journey back to their ship, Ilara gazed at the derelict vessel one last time. Its black alloy hull reflected the distant stars like a silent sentinel. The ship had been alive, intelligent, and testing them at every step. And the humans had prevailed. Tessa sighed, holding a data core gently. "I never imagined humans could face something like that and succeed. We adapted, we solved problems, we proved ourselves capable of understanding. It's incredible." Ryan leaned back in his seat. "We've learned more in a few hours than humanity has in decades. The technology, the knowledge, it's going to change everything. But more importantly, we've learned about ourselves. Human creativity and ingenuity are our greatest strengths." Ilara smiled, her eyes reflecting both pride and relief. "We didn't just survive, we adapted. We learned. We overcame. That's what humans do. That's why we're special. That's what HFY is about." As the shuttle rejoined their ship and they began the journey home, the crew reflected on the adventure that had tested them, challenged them, and ultimately proven that humans could face the unknown and triumph. The derelict ship remained behind, its secrets partially revealed, its intelligence intact, and its purpose fulfilled. The humans carried more than just data cores and alien technology. They carried proof that their ingenuity, courage, and adaptability could overcome even the most advanced and mysterious challenges. The knowledge they had gained was immense, but the lesson was even greater. Humans were capable of extraordinary things when they faced the unknown with courage, creativity, and unity. Ilara looked out at the stars, the glow of distant systems reflecting in her eyes. "We've done more than discover a ship. We've discovered the essence of what it means to be human. We've proven that when faced with the unimaginable, we adapt, we survive, and we thrive." "That's what makes us remarkable." Ryan grinned, holding the alien data carefully. "And the universe, well, it's going to see just what humans are capable of." Tessa nodded, a quiet smile on her face. "We've been tested, observed, and challenged, and we passed. That's something no one can take away from us." The shuttle powered down its interface with the derelict ship, and the vessel began to drift silently once more, a living relic of intelligence and knowledge left to its quiet existence. But the humans were gone, carrying not just technology, but a renewed understanding of their own potential, their ingenuity, and their courage. As the stars stretched out before them, vast and endless, the crew of the human exploration team knew one truth. Wherever the unknown awaited, humans would face it. Not just with strength, but with intelligence. Not just with courage, but with creativity. Not just with survival, but with innovation. and the universe would never underestimate them again.